Does the Archbishop believe, even his own Christian Bible, that Jesus was born in Bethlehem as a Jew in the land of Israel? Today, Bethlehem lies in the area demarcated by the ICJ as under illegal Israeli occupation. Is he saying that Jesus was born on Palestinian land in a Palestinian state? Or was he born a Jew in Israel?
2 days ago, the Chief Rabbi of South Africa, Warren Goldstein, put out a statement in which he argued against the International Court of Justice decision that Bethlehem was part of occupied Palestine and that Israel must get out, in that he argued that Jesus was born there and that Jesus was a Jew. Now, this is momentous from a number of angles, but particularly that because for the last 2,000 years, most Jews have been denying that Jesus was one of them. But in the last year, this has changed. And we can see, for example, in the British House of Lords, the Jewish Lord Wolfson has argued against the boycott of Israel. And you can watch a clip shortly. It's also been a feature of Israeli comedy satire, that they are making a joke about this denial that Jesus was Jewish. And at the same time, the opponents of Israel are repeatedly putting out this propaganda that Jesus was a Palestinian, and denying the Jewishness of the land of Israel, calling it occupied colonial conquest. And this has even included the son of the Prime Minister of Israel, who's argued that the sign above Jesus' cross said, "Jesus, the King of the Jews," and that the Bible that says that Jesus was born and raised in Judea. Now, this doesn't mean that all of these people are acknowledging Jesus as Messiah, but it is an enormous titanic shift in that they are accepting that he was one of them. And that has been a barrier to the Jewish people believing in Jesus for the past 2,000 years. And in this controversy, since October the 7th, that has been changing. And so I'd like you to watch these clips to see this evidence from multiple Jewish high-profile leaders who are acknowledging Jesus as a Jew. And that is something which my grandparents and my great-grandparents saw when they read the New Testament, and they came to believe that Jesus was the Jewish Messiah. These people have not believed in Jesus as the Messiah, but they are now acknowledging that he was Jewish, which has not happened before for a very long time. And it is also something that those who oppose the Jewish people are also in denial about.
I follow Jesus, who is a Palestinian, who in my scriptures at the age of 2 had to flee because of the killing of innocent children. He fled to Egypt. He was a Palestinian refugee.
Note, singling out Israel and only Israel for potential sanctions. A decade earlier, West Dunbartonshire Council adopted a policy on boycotting Israeli and only Israeli goods, including even printed books in Israel. So the sermons of Jesus printed in totalitarian China were permitted, but banned if printed in the place where he actually delivered them.
Jesus was a Jew. We are continuing the Jewish ancestry in this homeland. This is our homeland, and we wish you a Merry Christmas from the Holy Land of Israel. Jews are indigenous to Israel, and look, I have no problem with Palestinian people. I'm willing to respect them, but at least respect history, respect facts, and respect the most important fact, that we are not going anywhere. We are here to stay.
Just had a baby.
Yeah, and we already had a visit from the 3 wise men from the east. They just left, so maybe it's not a good time.
With all due respect to these Eastern wise men, we're from Berkeley.
Okay. Anyway, they gave us their blessing and they told us that our newborn son will be the king of the Jews.
Jews? Jews? What do you mean Jews?
I don't see anything Jewish here.
You have to understand, Jews will only come to this land 1,948 years from now.
As a colonialist power.
Oh, I see someone's been listening this semester.
True.
What do you mean? We are Jews.
No, you're not.
So what are we?
You are Palestinians, of course.
That drip is fire.
Palace what?
Palestinians, the indigenous inhabitants of this land.
Jews think about Jesus and Christianity. I know that some Jews are not going to like this video because in it I'm showing Jesus to be part of the Jewish world. I am a Jew and I personally, and this shouldn't matter to anyone, don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. But I also think that every source that shed light on the most important time in our history is legit. Hopefully, if you have seen my videos, you know that I'm an open-minded person, and why not talk about interesting things? Now, that's enough of the spiritual stuff. Let's move on to some high-level stupidity. In recent years, there has been this false narrative that Jesus was a Palestinian. Now, this is so stupid that I wouldn't even have considered mentioning it, but since there is a lot of Qatari money involved in spreading this nonsense, and since we've just seen how high levels of stupidity can be found even in the places we didn't think it could be found, I thought I would better address the issue. Guys, there are some things you need to know about life. Queen Victoria was not one of the Spice Girls. George Washington didn't play in the NBA, and Jesus was not a Palestinian.
Stop! Jesus was born in Bethlehem, and Bethlehem is in Palestine, right? No, he was born in Judea as a Jew, and they call it Palestine after he died. How long after? Like 100 years? It's in the Bible, so that's a bluff. Palestine is in the Bible? Then so is Lady Gaga if you look hard enough. The Philistines? Oh, the Philistines, yes. The sea people who became extinct 2,500 years ago. I guess. And have nothing to do with the Palestinians who were Arabs who didn't get here until 1,000 years later in the Muslim conquest. You're making a mess.